All right, it's funny here because we're going to start with linebackers, and really, it doesn't seem like this is a very deep draft for at least not at the top.
Correct.
So we might not see a linebacker get taken until the second round. But that being said, there will be linebackers drafted, so we're going to talk about them. And let's start with Edgerrin Cooper from Texas A&M. Dues, what do you like about him, and where do you think he'll end up?
Brees, the only reason why Edgerrin Cooper isn't going in the first round is because of positional value, right? He's a first-round talent. And so much so that I took him as the first pick in the second round with the Panthers. All you got to do, Breach, is turn on that Alabama versus Texas A&M film. He was clearly the best player on that field. And that's saying something when you're going to have multiple first-round picks, right? J.C. Latham, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, right? All those guys are most likely going in the first. Edgerrin Cooper was the best player on the field that day. Like, when he hits you, you go backwards. You don't go forward, right? And then his ability to blitz is underrated. His ability in zone coverage is really good. I think he ran a 4.51 at the combine. No linebacker diagnoses and gets downhill quicker than Edgerrin Cooper. To me, that would be a home run pick for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not going to last to their second round pick. That's why I took him at the first pick of the second round for the Panthers, because they lost Frankie Louvu this offseason, and we know Shaq Thompson is coming off an injury, but he will be there. So I think Edgerrin Cooper to the Carolina Panthers makes a lot of sense.
Do you think there's any chance he sneaks in the first round?
Just because of positional value. I don't think people, in regards to the value of, off-ball linebackers, I don't think there's any way he's going to go, at the end of the first round. But the play on the tape is deserving of first round.
All right, for this next guy, I was going to call Will Brinson, but he's on vacation, and he doesn't answer my phone calls anyway. So it wouldn't have worked. But it is Brinson's favorite prospect in the entire draft, and I'm not sure if it's because Brinson actually thinks he's great or if it's because Payton Wilson
went to NC State.
Dudes, what do you think of Payton Wilson, and where do you think he ends up? Or what do you think a good player is?
Freak athlete. I think he ran a 4.43 at the combine, tackling machine. Would like to see him be more physical with that big, long body that I didn't see constantly on film, a lot of times running around blocks. That's why I have him slated going to the Cowboys in the second round. But also, I think there's an injury history that has some teams concerned as well. And he's an older player, has played a lot of college football already as well. But as far as a guy that can play will backer for you, chase plays down from behind, also really good in zone coverage, I think Payton Wilson is your guy. I just think he goes, probably middle, late second round. That's why I have him slated to go to the Cowboys.
All right, Payton Wilson in Dallas, building up the linebackers, pairing them with Micah Parsons. That would be a scary defense. All right, let's move to our next linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Dudes, what do you like about the Clemson linebacker, and where do you think he ends up?
Yeah, when you look at him, this is where me and Rick differ. Rick Spielman, I'm talking about. He's higher on, Jeremiah Trotter than I am. Not as high on him. I think he's a kind of a mix of an old school linebacker, more first, second down guy. There's times on tape, when he has to cover the back out of the backfield where he struggles, real handsy, get a couple DPIs. And I didn't constantly or consistently see him be as physical as I would have liked him to be, right? So I think I marked him going to the Chargers either, I want to say maybe even the third round. Think it makes a lot of sense for him to go to the Chargers in the third round. They lost Eric Kendricks. He could be potentially maybe a replacement for him. And not only that, they lost Murray as well in free agency. So I think there's a major need right there.
When you don't see eye to eye with Rick, did he try and sell you on this? Like, come on, dudes. You don't know what you're talking about. How does that conversation
the funny
go?
thing is I like having debates with Rick. I was big on Kobe Turner. He wasn't. We saw what happened with that. Right. But this year when we did, with the first pick pod and we did edge and D-line and linebackers, we didn't argue as much this year. That was the only one where we kind of didn't see eye to eye was on Jeremiah Trotter Jr. That was the only time we didn't see eye to eye.
I mean, Kobe Turner's a good trump card to have where, you know what, let's side with me this year because I nailed that last year. Kobe Turner looking like one of the best defensive players in last year's draft class.